Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and I am the maker behind apt.atelier. On this channel I like to talk about all things knitting, sewing, spinning, crafting in general, and just making everyday things beautiful. So today we're going to talk about everything that I worked on in the month of September. Sorry if I'm fiddling with my hair. It's like at a weird grow out stage from when I chopped it off, and I'm wearing it straight today, so I might fiddle with it. Sorry if that's annoying, but here we are. Yeah, so we're going to talk about what I made in September. I was very busy. I did a lot of stuff. I have several finished sewing projects. Some of them you have not, or I do have several finished sewing projects. I also have several finished knitting projects, some of them that are like cast on, cast off since the last time I talked to you. I've got a little bit of spinning. I've got some plans, and I just have also some exciting news. So we'll get there in a minute, but we will just, yeah. I feel like I'm a little scattered, but it's a beautiful sunny day in Seattle today, and I'm feeling good and I'm feeling ready to talk to you. It's going to be a long one, so buckle up. Ooh, I need a drink of water for this. Added a new sticker to my Yarny sticker collection. Little Fiber Co., my favorite indie dyer. She just launched her dyed to order fiber. So if you're a spinner and you like hand dyed fiber, go to Little Fiber Co. because you can order any of her colorways, dyed to order. And I think her turnaround time is like 2 weeks. It's amazing. I can't wait. Once I spin through some more of my fiber stash, I can't wait to order. I think maybe when I hit like a big milestone, maybe when I hit 10K on the channel, I will order a sweater quantity from Little Fiber Co. Manifest that for me. Okay. That is neither here nor there. We can really quick just touch on my handmade outfit of the day. This is my Gia zipper sweater, which is a pattern from Sewn. It's from the Sewn little booklet that I've knit a bunch from, the Soft for Women 2202. It's the same book that has the Amy slipover and the Lou Genser, the Lou sweater, and the Guernsey sweater. There's quite a few cute patterns in there, and I've knit through quite a lot of them. But anyway, yes, this is a zipper sweater. It has like this whole front facing, and the collar is all double knitting, and it's kind of like an 80s inspired style. There is in the pattern some waist shaping that I didn't do. I knit this in 2023 and I finished it like right before, it was the last thing I finished for myself before I had the baby. So when I first finished it, I wasn't sure about it. I don't know if it was because of the collar is kind of floppy. Like if you zip it all the way up, which, hold on, let me do that. If you zip it all the way up, it's not like super close fitted, but I do still think it's cute. Anyway, when I first finished it, I wasn't super sure about it, but the more I've worn it, the more I really like it. It's also knit with, I used Cascade 220 and a mohair for this, and I don't usually knit with mohair, so I think it was also like a little bit of a learning curve. And then I didn't wear it a lot right after I finished it because I had just had the baby and I didn't want her, like, she was sleeping on me a lot and I didn't want her to like breathe in mohair all the time. But I don't know why I'm telling you all this, but anyway, this is my Gia sweater. I will say the armholes are quite deep. I think that's the one thing I don't love about this. I wish they were a little bit more shallow, but I like it. And it even has twisted rib, which I usually don't like, but I do in this context. So I wear it a lot. It's very cozy. It's really heavy. I think this thing weighs like 600 or 650 grams. I had 500 grams of the Cascade 220. I had to order more to finish it. So it was like kind of a marathon knit, and the double knitting was like, it's like this whole front piece and the whole collar are all double knit. So it was kind of a slog, but it was worth it. I think it's super, super cozy. So that's my top, and then my bottom, I'm going to stand up here on the couch. These are my Bob sweatpants. These are the Bob pants by Style Arc, which I will talk more about later because I have another pair. I really like them, but with some caveats. But anyway, these are the sweatpant version that I made in May, and I wear them all the time. I think the Bobs just really, the structure of the pant really depends on a nice structured fabric. And they're designed for woven fabric, and this is not woven fabric. This is a knit fabric. It's like a sweatshirt material, so it's flat on the side and it has the like fuzzy inside. It was a blanket that I bought at the thrift store, like a sweatshirt blanket. But there's so much, the fabric is so stiff and sturdy that it was perfectly easy to sew in this pattern. I just use a zigzag stitch, like a narrow zigzag for the seams, and I haven't had any issues with seams popping or anything. So I love these and I wear them all the time. They're very, very cozy. So that's my cozy outfit of the day. And yeah, that's enough yapping. Let's do some finished objects. We'll do all the knitting and then all the sewing, and I have a little bit of spinning and a little bit of acquisitions. And yeah, so we'll go through. So the first finished knitting item that I have is my finished Double Trouble kids jacket. I made this jacket for my daughter Caroline. The main yarn is Drops Classic Wool in the dark gray colorway. And for all of the binding, it's a hand-dyed yarn that I got as a gift that my sister-in-law bought me in Scotland, and I don't remember who the dyer is, but it's this like icy blue, which I think is a fun contrast against the dark gray. And then I just had these buttons in stash. They're just big plastic, kind of like, they're gray, but they have like a sheen to them, buttons. And then I did the back yoke. Upon further investigation, this yarn is not the same. I had some dark gray yarn. I had two like leftovers of dark gray yarn in my stash. I knew one of them was the Patons Classic Wool, and then the other one wasn't, and I picked the wrong one, I guess. So it's slightly different, and it's a 4-ply instead of a 3-ply, and I think it honestly might have some acrylic in it, but that's neither here nor there. So I used up every last bit of the Patons Classic Wool that I had. I ended up having to do like 2 rows of the button band with this same back yarn, but you can't tell because it's under the I-cord. And then the I-cord goes all the way around. You like use it, so you knit this flat because it's garter stitch, and then you use the I-cord to like seam everything up, which is an easier way to do to seam up things that are knit flat. I think I wish I had done the I-cord the other way on the arms, because there's like a nice looking side and a not so nice looking side. And I think the not so nice looking side is on the front on this. For the body, I did it the opposite way, so that the not so nice looking side, it looks kind of like a blanket stitch, which is not bad. It's just not my favorite. I like this side better. I think that just looks a little bit more clean. So I wish I had, and you can see it on the back of this sleeve, and then it's on the front. It looks kind of like that blanket stitch. So I did it differently after I did the sleeve seams. I did it like, so for the sleeves, they have you pick up, I think at the body and knit to the cuff, maybe the other way. But I did all of these finishes inside out, because this is the right side of the I-cord. So I had that going to the inside just because I thought it looked a little bit neater. The pattern does have pockets on it. I didn't have enough yarn, so I did not do the pockets. This is the 3 to 4 year size, and I will caveat that with that I did not get gauge for this project. I think my gauge is a little bit tight, so this is maybe between the 3 to 4 year size and the 1 to 2 year size. Either way, it is enormous on my daughter. She's what is she, 19 months now, almost 20. So she's just over a year and a half, and she's not particularly tall for her age. She's kind of like average, and this like goes to her knees. So and she also doesn't like it. Like every time I try to put it on her, she says no and like pulls it off, which is strange. I don't know why, because it's not like it's itchy or anything. I don't know. She's getting to be very particular and opinionated about her clothes. So I don't know. I think at some point in the next 3 years she'll wear this, and if not, maybe I can have another child that will like it. I think it's very cute, and I think it's really cozy, and she likes jackets, so I thought she would like it. But anyway, whatever. The back hem is slightly differently shaped than the front hem, but you can't honestly tell that much. I know last time I talked a lot about this and how I want to write the designer and ask her to clean up the instructions. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But if you missed my last video, the instructions on this are quite sparse in the fact, like to the point that it doesn't tell you how many stitches to pick up for the back or the sleeves, which I think is kind of a gross oversight. So I do need to write a little message to the designer and just bring that up to her and recommend that maybe or not recommend even, but just like ask maybe that for future clarity she could improve that pattern. We'll see. I'll let you know if I get around to doing that and if I hear back from her. If not, the stitch counts that I used, I put in my Ravelry page, which because there are no stitch counts in the pattern, I don't feel like that's a problem. So if you do want to make this jacket, the stitch counts are on my Ravelry project page, and you can go there and look. I think I probably, in the end, I mean, it's fine. I think it fits fine. The sleeves do look a little bit like cinched compared to the body. I think you can see they kind of like go in right here, but I think it's fine and they fit perfectly fine. So that is my finished Double Trouble kids jacket. I think it turned out really cute. Hopefully at some point in her life, my daughter will let me put it on her. But for now, it will just wait for that time. It's also too big, so that's okay. It was fun. It was a fun project, and I liked picking the contrast color. So yes, that is my first finished object. And then the next two that I have done were cast on, cast off since the last time I saw you. These are the Fern leggings by Knitting for Olive. I knit them in Knit Picks Stroll, which is a superwash merino and nylon blend. I think it's a sock yarn, which is probably why it's called Stroll. And these are in the 0 to 3 month size. These are for my new niece who will be born sometime in the next few weeks. They're really cute. They were very quick to knit. I think I knit these in less than a week. You do the legs separately, so they're bottom up, which is why they get this cute little picot, like kind of scallopy at the bottom. You cast on from the bottom and then knit the legs up and then join and do the body. So yeah, it was very, very quick. The one thing it's kind of odd that there's like a very visible change here. You basically do an increase so the pattern starts to space out. And I know that's like kind of how you need it to go, but I just think it does look a little bit strange. I'm sure when it's on, you won't be able to tell, but there's not really a way around that. I guess the only other thing is that like if you were to do this for a baby that moves around, like the diaper would show through the lace eyelets. So I think it's fine for a little tiny baby, but I probably wouldn't make a pair of these for my daughter, just because, you know, they're like sheer in some places. So whatever. This used like exactly 150-gram ball of Stroll. I don't even think maybe I did just have to break into the second ball just barely, but it was very, very minimal. And I have quite a few balls of this left. I had just had it in stash. I think it was from like a D-stash that my mom bought and she gave it to me. So I'm going to make a matching sweater. I think I'm just going to do a plain sweater. I will probably use the Holger sweater pattern, which I've made 2 of for my daughter. But I haven't made the 0 to 3 month size. So I'll do that. I'll make a matching sweater. And then my sister also requested a bonnet for the baby, which I will do in this. I guess we're skipping to plans. I'm just going to use this white yarn that I have in stash. This was an unraveled sweater. It's super, super soft. I think it's like merino, Angora, and alpaca or something. It's a beautiful, really, really soft blend of yarns. I made a sweater number 11 out of this years and years ago. I think 2021 or 2022. It's an older sweater in my wardrobe, but it's super soft, and she just wanted a very plain bonnet for the baby. So I'm going to make a pattern I've made before. It's the Lindern bonnet pattern by Yuri Peterson. I've made it once before. I made it this time last year for a friend who was having a baby. It's just got a really cute lace. It's not super dissimilar to this lace. They are not the same though. So I'm going to make it in this white because she just wanted something super neutral that would go with everything. So that is a future plan that I will be casting on here pretty soon because the baby's coming. So I need to do the sweater and the bonnet. I'm making the 0 to 3 month size so she can wear them for a while, like over the winter. But I need to finish them so that I can mail them off and they can get as much use as possible. So yes, that's my little fern pants. I don't have a ton to say about these. They were super quick and easy. I think they're great for a little tiny baby. And they're very cute. And then my other finished object are some socks. I'm continuing on with my 4 socks this year challenge, one pair of socks per quarter. And I was for some reason thinking I had till the end of October to knit my next quarter pair, but you know, that quarter ends in September. So it worked out well. But these, I'm really happy with these that I used. The main color is Rosaceria Rosa Pomar Mondim, which is a non-superwash, no nylon sock yarn from Rosa Pomar. It's a 100% Portuguese wool. I don't remember the number of this color, but I really like it. It's got raspberries and pinks and like violet and green speckles in it. And then for the contrast, I used a one-of-a-kind sock yarn from Little Fiber Company that I got at Flock. It's this really fun kind of electric green, and I have so much of that yarn left that I'm going to make another pair of socks out of them, probably a lacy pair of socks. So yes, I'm really happy with how these turned out. I did them toe up, 2x2 rib. I didn't use a pattern. I think I did, what did I do? 60 stitches on 2.5 millimeter needles. I think the 2.5 was great for the Mondim. The merino sock from Little Fiber Co. is like a merino and silk, and it's it's a really generous skein. It's like almost 500 meters per skein, and so the yarn is much thinner, and the texture of these two yarns is very different. Like this is obviously a very smooth, very silky yarn, and this is a more rustic yarn, but I do think they work together. I think the colors look great, and so I think just for the future I will do, when I knit a full pair of socks out of this merino sock from Little Fiber Co. I actually even have another skein in stash that I bought last year that I want to knit. But I think I will do these on a 2.25 or even a 2 millimeter needle. I think the fabric will be a little bit nicer. But they work well for this. I mean, there is a significant like difference in feeling and like thickness between these two yarns, but I still think they work together. I did the shadow wrap heel for this one, and I don't love it, to be honest. I still think my favorite bottom up heel is the Flegel heel. I just don't like the way it looks with the contrast color on, I think it looks a little silly. So yeah, I did the shadow wrap heel. I think it was fine. I don't think it's that, I don't know. I don't really have a huge, like it doesn't have any holes, which is why people love it, because it's not like a short row heel where you can sometimes get holes, but I don't feel like I really get holes with my German short row heels. So I don't know that I'll go to the trouble of doing this heel turn again. The other thing I find challenging with a short row heel is that I feel like it just ends up kind of shallow. Like it's not a very significant portion of the sock. So I don't know, maybe for my next, I really do prefer toe up socks because I feel like I don't have to play as much yarn chicken. So I'm going to keep making toe up socks, and I'll just keep experimenting with different heel construction methods. I think next time I want to try either like an afterthought heel or like a fish lips kiss heel kind of thing. But yes, that was my heel. And then I just did a 1x1 rib at the top. I did rib them all over just because I find that my socks often like with wear kind of sag and like get really loose. And so I thought that the all over 1x1 rib would help them like stay snug on my foot, which they have so far. And because these are a 100% wool, they may felt a little bit, which I think will help keep them tight on my feet. I also find that I often get a lot of like saggy fabric right here above the ankle. So I think for my next pair of socks that I'm going to do, I might do a little bit of decreasing and then increasing to kind of eliminate that. It just feels like I'm wearing commercial socks right now, but like in this part of my foot, I get a little bit of extra fabric in my hand knit socks, and I don't like that. I don't know if it's like it's above the heel, so it's like in this section. So I may just need to like decrease down a few stitches and then decrease back out. I'll try that with my next pair of socks. But yes, that is my little pair of socks. I think they're so cute, and I like that both of these yarns are special. I bought this yarn on a trip that I went with my husband just before the baby was born, so it's like kind of special and reminds me of her. And I've also used some of it in a project for my daughter in her honey vest. So it's fun, and she was really loving watching me knit these. She kept wanting to put them on. So I still have more of this yarn left, and I think I will probably knit her a little pair of socks to match. So yeah, I'll probably just use I may just end up knitting a sock tube, and then I'll cut in the heels and toes. So yeah, those are my little socks. These are my Q3 socks. I think they're very fun and colorful, and I'm excited to wear them more. I've worn them just around the house so far. I wanted them still to look nice for the video, but I'm excited to wear them like in my clogs and stuff. I don't know that I want to wear these in boots. They feel kind of special to me. I'm still like a little bit wary about wearing my hand knit socks in boots because they just get all scuffed up at the heel, but maybe I will. I don't know. They're cute. I really like them, and I'm excited. I feel like I have a lot of sock mojo. All these like little tiny projects actually really liked because for some reason in the past when I've knit socks, I felt like they just take forever, but these whipped up in like, I think I made these in like a week. Like from casting on the first one to casting off the second one was maybe like a week or 10 days. They're really great for commute knitting. So yeah, I want to knit more socks. I just have a lot of other stuff I need to knit as well. So those are my finished objects for the month for knitting. And then I do have quite a lot of knitting works in progress. I made a good progress this month. We will start with this project, which is kind of on hold and kind of a mess. So last month I told you I had started my sweater number 6 from My Favorite Things Knitwear in this beautiful custom Woolen Mills yarn, and I knit almost the whole yoke to split for sleeves and realized that my gauge was too tight, so I ripped it out and I knit it again and blocked it. And I don't know if you can see, maybe it's less obvious now, maybe I've like let it sit long enough that it doesn't bother me anymore, but I don't think so. When I ripped out the yarn from that, I had steamed the sweater the first time to see if the gauge would loosen, and it didn't really. So I just ripped out the sweater and knit it again. And there's a really significant gauge difference between the top of this sweater and the rest of it. Like, I don't know if you can, I think you can see, like it looks and feels in the fabric. This has been fully wet blocked. Like there is a line here on the sleeve, across the yoke and across the other sleeve, where it's just something about the yarn was not right. And I can't look past it. If I'm being honest, it's at the top of the yoke where you can see it. Like it's very visible to me. It might not be visible to you, but it's very visible to me. And I can feel it in the fabric, and I don't like that. Like it's right here. You can see. It's obvious. And I blocked it to see if that would fix it, and it didn't. So then I was getting frustrated with this project because I had like re-knit the yoke twice basically. And I also don't like how wide these sleeves are, and I don't have a lot of yarn. So I was just feeling quite frustrated. So I put it down, and I am not sure yet if I want to start it again or if I want to do a different pattern. I think I still want this to be a really nice, simple raglan. I think when I bought the pattern, I was like, I could probably make this up, but I don't. The problem for me with like starting a sweater, I feel like I could do all of it except for it's the how many to cast on for the neck and how many to space them out that I find kind of challenging, which is why I buy patterns. But I just don't like how big the sleeves are. So I think I may continue with this pattern, but I'm gonna modify it quite heavily. I will probably stop increasing the sleeves sooner. And I'm going to cast on with like my other balls of yarn, and then I will use these. I will wind these back up, steam them to get all the wrinkles out, and then use them for the sleeves. So yeah, that's why this is on hold, because I had knit the yoke twice and it was wrong and I was getting really frustrated. So this is on hold for now. I'm not sure when I'll come back to that, but I will, because I do really want a sweater out of that yarn. So once that happened, I decided I was going to do something else, and I cast on my Olga sweater, which I've been wanting to make for a while. My Olga jacket, the cardigan Olga. And this is how far I've gotten. I have just joined for the body and sleeves, or joined for the body, and I'm knitting away. This one has also caused me a little bit of grief. So I'm knitting this with Briggs & Little Heritage, and then this white yarn is like a reclaimed sweater that I got. And I'm very off gauge. So this pattern is written for Peer Gynt, which is more of a DK weight yarn, and Briggs & Little Heritage is a worsted weight yarn. I love Briggs & Little yarn. I have mostly knit with their Regal yarn before, which is a 2-ply, but it's a 2-ply DK weight. This is a 2-ply worsted weight, and there is a significant difference in the thickness of the yarn. This yarn is so plump and lofty, and it just like holds a lot of air. So I am getting an 18 stitch gauge for this, and the pattern is written for a 21 stitch gauge. So I'm knitting the smallest size in the pattern. I think it's an extra small, or maybe just an extra small. I'm doing the stitch counts for that. But I always forget when I'm going off gauge like that I need to like do the stitch counts for one pattern, but to the lengths of the pattern that is my general size. And so I knit the whole back, and that was totally fine. And then I picked up for the front, and I knit an entire front. And then when I picked up for the second front, first of all, I picked up for the second front and knit almost the whole thing, and then realized I had forgotten to increase for the neckline. So I ripped it back, and then when I went to start it again, I realized that I hadn't knit long enough before the neck. I had done the one for the extra small and not for the medium, which is what I usually knit in petite knit. So then I had to rip this whole front back and re-knit it. So I've done a lot of ripping out and re-knitting this month, and I've made quite a lot of progress, even though that's the case. So the only thing about this that I'm feeling a little apprehensive about is that the fabric is kind of stiff, but I think it's going to be okay, and I'm going to keep going. And it is a jacket, like it will be a nice outerwear over something else kind of thing. And it's not too stiff. Like there's still a little bit of movement in here. It's definitely, I think I just steamed the back yoke, the back yoke, and it does loosen up and get a little bit more movement in it once it's spin blocked. So that's exciting. And I'm just chugging along. So hopefully I can keep working on this. It's not as fun now that I'm working on the body, but I'm just going to keep chugging away. I'm trying to do like one stripe of each color every day, and I think I need to do like 8 or 10 sets of stripes for the body, and then I can start the ribbing. So if I can do one every day, then I'll like slowly be chipping it away at it. And then I think once I get to the sleeves, I'll coast super quickly, because it's the purling that really slows me down. Yeah, I will say that I am using 2 different size needles, which is kind of my strategy to mitigate rowing out. Because I am a continental knitter, my purls are quite a lot looser than my knits. And so I'm on the right side knitting with a 4mm needle, and on the wrong side knitting with a 3.5. And for the most part, I haven't had any like egregious rowing out. It looks okay so far. There are some places where my tension is definitely uneven, but I think the stripes help to camouflage that, and I am doing my best to knit mindfully, to tighten up my knit, or to loosen up my knits and tighten up my purls. So that's my Olga. I'm still working on my first ball of yarn. I have 3 balls of this, and that should be fine, I think. I hope. I think I can probably get like 3 or 4 more stripes on the body with this ball of yarn, so I should be fine. So yes, that is my Olga jacket. That is my current sweater whip for me. And then my other whip, I usually have like a big whip and then a small whip. So my small whip of the moment is this sweater that I'm making for my daughter Caroline. It's called, now I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called the Marion List sweater. It is by Indie who makes really beautiful, really elegant children's knitting patterns. I really like her stuff. And I'm using this purple yarn. I actually have a sweater that I knit for myself 2023 that is very, very similar looking to this. It's like a wide broken rib. This one is a wide broken rib on the body. And then the one that I have for myself is the Mia sweater from Coco Amore Knitwear. And it's a wide broken rib on the sleeves and then stockinette on the body. So we kind of have like reversed sweaters. I used the same yarn for my sweater. This is a yarn that I got on a cone at a consignment store in Alameda where my parents live. And it's a wool and Angora blend. It's not super soft. It's kind of like sneakily prickly, but I think it will be really cute for us to have kind of like coordinating sweaters. So I just finished the body on Friday, today's Sunday, and then I picked up the sleeve yesterday and I'm almost done with it already. So I will be done with this sweater really, really soon. And then when I finish this, I can cast on some of the little gift knits that I have to do. So yeah, that is that. Caroline doesn't have a sweater in her size right now. She has a couple sweaters from last year, the Holger sweaters that I knit in the 1 to 2 year size, but they're getting a little bit short in the body and the sleeves. So she needs a new sweater for this year. So this is the first one. I will probably knit her one more in a superwash yarn just because I can send her to school in that. Like she goes to daycare and they eat great food at daycare, but she always makes a mess. And so she always has food all over her shirt. And if it's a superwash, one thing is that like the stains don't stick as much to wool. And then if it's a superwash, I can just put it in the washing machine. So that is what I plan to do. I'm not sure what yarn I will use, but I do want to do that. So yes, this is Caroline's sweater. Again, I'm making the, what size am I making? I think I'm making the 1 to 2 year size on this one as well, but it's quite big. It's like quite long, and I think it's going to fit her probably at least for the rest of this winter and maybe a bit of next fall as well. She is only 1.5 years, so maybe it's a 1 to 3 year size. I don't remember, but I'm glad I decided to go for this size and not the size up because that one would be really big, I think. So yes, that's the Marion List sweater by Indie Blomst. I really like her stuff. She has so many cute kids patterns. So yes, that's my knitting works in progress. I'm just chugging away, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to do my cardigan. I just feel like I need more cardigans. I've already knit 2 cardigans this year, and I probably want to knit 1 more. I think I'm going to do the Port Jacket by Ozetta in like a brown color that I have in stash, that I've had in stash for years. That's probably going to be my next cardigan, but maybe I need to do a pullover in between. Maybe once I finish the Olga, I can go back to this raglan, knit that really quickly, and then do the Port Jacket. I don't know. I just found like I was trying to get dressed last night and I was going out for a friend's birthday and I had like a tank on, but I wanted to put a sweater over it and I really wanted a cardigan, and I feel like I needed like a lighter weight, like a fingering sport, maybe even DK weight cardigan, because a lot of the cardigans I have knit this year have been quite chunky, like 14, 16, and now an 18 stitch gauge. I feel like I need like a 21 to 24 stitch gauge cardigan. So we'll see. And I would like to, I just want to knit more. There's so many things that I want to knit. A long, 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 long list. Okay. So yes, that is my knitting works in progress. I guess we can touch just very briefly on my spinning because I just have this bobbin to show you. I spun actually 2 bobbins, but I've almost spun 2 full bobbins, but the other one is still on my wheel and it still has like fiber attached to it, so I didn't want to pull it off. This is the first bobbin that I'm doing for my next sweater spin. This is a carded merino bat that I bought from World of Wool. I bought it last year, around this time last year, maybe like August, September last year. And I'm spinning it to knit the Harriet sweater by Lena Holmes Samsa, which has this like beautiful colorwork motif on the body and maybe on the sleeves as well. I don't remember. But it has like the set-in shoulder, like the contiguous set-in sleeve shoulder shaping. And it has like a really pretty, like, what's that? The Selbu, not a Selbu rose, but that like, the flower that's like kind of on the, I'll put a picture of it so you know what I'm talking about. But it has really pretty color work on it, and I want to knit it entirely out of hand spun. And I have put my honey pillow on hold because I think I want to use this yarn actually as the contrast color in this sweater. I think those would look really cool together. Sorry, there's like all sorts of crap stuck to this. I think these would actually look really nice together in that color work pattern. And so my poor honey pillow that I started working on again. And then when I started spinning this yarn, I was like, oh, that would be really cute. This is spun from Nutiden or Air Nutiden fiber. This was like one of the first big spinning projects I did after I started spinning. And I just couldn't for the longest time. I only have like 300 meters of it. I couldn't figure out what I was going to use it for. So I started this pillow, but actually I think I'm going to use it as a contrast color in this sweater. I think it'll be really cute. And then there's a third contrast color, and I think I will just use some white hand spun for that. So yeah, I'm spinning away for that. I'm almost finished with the second 100-gram bobbin. I'm going to spin all my singles. I'm going to do 400 grams and see how that gets me. So I have 5 bobbins. I usually, when I'm spinning for a sweater project, I will fill up 4 bobbins and then ply onto the 5th bobbin until I spin or ply up all my yarn. And then if I need to spin more, I would do it in another batch. But I'm hoping that with a yarn that's kind of like a sport to DK, 400 grams will be enough. I spun 600 grams for my last DK weight-ish sweater spin, and I didn't end up using all of it. So I may end up needing to spin a 5th skein, but maybe with the color work I won't. Unsure. My Ester jacket was a 3-ply, so I think I almost used like 850 grams of fiber for that one. It's a hefty chunky one. But this is a 2-ply, not a 3-ply, so it needs a little bit less fiber. And speaking of my Ester jacket, I still love it. I've been wearing it at least once or twice a week, and it's not got like any pilling or anything so far. So loving my little hand spun Ester. Okay, that is my spinning. Not very exciting, but that's what it is. I'm gonna have a drink. Because we have a lot of sewing to talk about. And so I'm gonna, I'll save it for the end. No, I'll do it now. I have a very fun sewing project to talk to you about. If you watched my last video, I talked about some of the stroller bags that I sewed and was talking about the pattern. And I have made another sample and I'm almost finished with the pattern. So this is the Promenade Tote. Will be my first ever pattern that I release. It is a sewing pattern for a drawstring quilted bag. If you didn't watch my last video, it is designed the handles are removable with buttons or with heavy duty snaps so that you can put the straps over things like over the handlebars of a stroller or a shopping cart, or like, I feel like this is a really good knitting project bag as well. So if you're like on an airplane, you could like loop it around the tray table in front of you and have your yarn feed out of there. You can like put it on the back, or like a train seat, you could do it like that. You can just carry it as like a purse with the little handles. You could do like because the handles are removable, you could sorry, I'm like so excited about this that I'm blabbering a little bit. You could do it as one handle. So I don't know why I'm deciding to show you this in real time, but you could like take off the handle and then just have one. You can like cross it so it goes across the bag and have it like a single handle. I also think this would really be good for like knitting and walking, to like put over your arm and have the yarn coming out and you can knit with it. So yes, this is my Promenade Tote. I'm really, really excited about it and really, really proud of it. Like I worked really hard developing the pattern pieces. There are 3 different sizes in this pattern. This is the mini size tote. So it's a 6.5 inch base, 10 inches high. There's a midi size, which I think is 8 inch base, 12 inches high. And there's a maxi size that is 9.5 inch base and 14 or 15 centimeters high, or inches. They all have the ruffle on them, which is like a really nicely finished ruffle. They're fully lined. I have some stuff in here because I took this to the store with me yesterday and I got snaps because I'm going to do snaps on my next version. But it's fully lined. All the seams are enclosed. There are instructions for a patch pocket on the inside. I think you could also put a zipper pocket in here pretty easily. I might try that on my next sample. And then it has a drawstring closure, so you can like keep your stuff secure in the drawstring closure. So that is my Promenade tote. I worked really hard on it. I've worked on it like every day over the past couple of weeks, getting the pattern ready. And I think the call for testers will be very, very soon. I'm like, I hope you can tell that I'm really, really excited about this and really proud of it. I worked really hard on developing the pattern pieces and then doing the instructions, which have like, if you're familiar with indie sewing patterns, there are a lot of illustrations, and like, I have a lot of respect for sewing pattern designers now, and will never complain about how much sewing pattern costs, because there's I spent a lot of time. I spent probably like eight hours just making the illustrations. So I'm really, really excited for this. I think it's really cool. Oh, I also forgot to mention that you can do quilting on the sides or not. So I quilted this version, but you don't have to do the quilting. It does need batting, which adds to the structure. It's a really nice structured bag as well. Like it stands up on its own. So you could set it down, or if it's like hanging on something, it won't, unless there's something really heavy in here, it's not gonna like sag too much. I also think it could be interesting if you wanted to add more structure to it. You could use like plastic needlepoint canvas in the bottom. I think would be a really smart way to do it. Would be to like sandwich it between the main bag and the lining so that it like holds really stiff. And that way, if you wanted to put like a water bottle in here or something while it was hanging, it would add even more structure. Or you could do it with like 2 pieces of cardboard, but like circles that were like the corrugation going different ways so it doesn't get bent. I don't know. There are a lot of ways I feel like this bag could be used. I also think you could do like an extra long strap if you wanted to carry it crossbody. I think that like I had grand plans to add some more views to the pattern, but it's like takes so much work to do everything. Like I think it could be really cute to do this instead of as a ruffle. You could do like a scallop around the edges, or you could leave the ruffle off completely and just have it be like a storage tote. Anyway, I think this is a really cool and versatile pattern. I worked really hard on it. I'm really, really proud of it. And I'm really excited to share it with people. So yes, I am finishing up the pattern. I'm finishing up the instructions. I'm doing like the yardage estimates and everything. And I think I'm going to sew one more version before I put the test call out. And then I'll probably also sew one along with the testers. So I'm going to sew the maxi size next. I've sewn, so like when I first made the pattern, I made the midi, what is now the midi size. This was the first time I made the mini size, which is so nice. It's like a really good size project bag. This project that I made for Caroline, her sweater, like that fits perfectly in here. Like fits so nicely, and the colors and everything match. So this is the mini size. I'm gonna make the maxi size, and then I'll probably make the midi size along with the testers. And I want to do a patchwork version, I think, for the for the midi size, like patchwork, like quilted, like just pieced and quilted. So yes, I'm so proud of this. I chose Promenade as the name because it is originally inspired by a stroller bag. And so like my branding is kind of like French adjacent, and like apt.atelier is French adjacent, and promenade is a word that means like to go for a stroll in French. And so it's also a word that works well in English. So that's why it is the Promenade tote. I think it's it's great for knitting and walking. Like it's a great walking around town tote. So I'm so happy with this. I'm really, 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 really proud of it. And I'm excited to see other people make their own version. So if you would like to test, I'm going to put the tester call out on Instagram probably. So please follow me on Instagram if you're interested. This is my Instagram handle. It's the same name that I go by here. I will also post in the YouTube community tab. So if you're subscribed to my channel, you'll get an announcement about it. So subscribe if you're not already, if you want to test. And I may also send out something about it in my newsletter as well. So if you are not subscribed to my newsletter, there is a link down below. It's all through Substack. So that is that. If you want to test, I will caveat with it, like, I don't think it's going to be a huge testing group because I've never tested a pattern before and I don't want to be overwhelmed, but I don't know. I don't know how many people are going to apply. I have no idea what this whole thing is going to look like. It's new for me and new for you. So we'll figure it out together. But yeah, I'm hoping I can put the test call out by like Friday of this week. So mid-October, and then maybe we could release the pattern like early to mid-November, so that if you wanted to sew it for like a holiday gift or something, you would have time to do that. So yeah, that's my plan for the Promenade tote. If you would like to test, follow me on Instagram is the best place to see it. And subscribe to my newsletter, I'll probably post about it there as well. So yes, that's my promenade tote. I'm really, really excited about it. I'm really proud of it. It's very cool. But yes, that has been like occupying a lot of my brain space over the past like 2 weeks probably. But I also did a lot of other sewing. I think last time I showed you my daughter's, sorry, these hangers are clicking, clacking. I showed you is it called the garden jumpsuit by Red Creek Patterns that I made for my daughter, and it ended up being like huge. I made the 2 to 3 year size, and it's really big on her. So I made her another one in a smaller size. This is the 18 to 24 month size. It's still quite big on her. I think she's just short, but it's still quite big on her. I made her another one. I got this black cotton duvet cover at a thrift store. I went thrifting a couple weeks ago and just bought some fabric to sew out of, and I have quite a lot made out of this duvet cover. But it's a black cotton duvet cover, very simple, easy jumpsuit. The one thing that I have about this is that if your child wears diapers, which mine still does, it's kind of, there's no like opening on the legs. You have to just open the back and pull the whole thing off. I think it would be pretty easy to modify it to do the like snaps on the legs. I just couldn't be bothered and kind of regret it now, but that's okay. It's still very cute. I love the shape of it. I think it's very sweet, and she's worn it once so far. I just rolled up the legs. So she wore it last week, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it turned out really cute. They run big though. The pattern sizes run big. So that is my nature jumpsuit. And then the next thing I made was this Amelie blouse by Silver Saga in the same black cotton duvet. The problem with this is that it's not really finished because somehow my pattern pieces got really, really off. And when I was putting the buttons on, I didn't realize until I was putting the buttons on, but one of the fronts is like 2 inches longer than the other one. So I need to go back and fix the hem. The problem is that the way that this piece is constructed is that like the hem, the button placket and the hem are kind of like sewn together. And so I'm not sure how I'm going to fix it, but you can see here. Maybe you can't because it's black, but like if I line this up at the top, there's quite a significant, here we go. The front plackets, there's like, can you even see? There's like a 1/2 inch difference probably. So I just need to go and fix that. It shouldn't be a hard fix. It just hasn't been the top priority for me. So I haven't actually worn that yet. But yes, the first one I made of this Amelie blouse, I made in the smallest size because I wasn't sure how much fabric I like eked it out of some fabric, and that was fine, but the sleeve cuffs are quite tight. Like I have to unbutton them to get them on and off. So I made the size up for this version, and I think the sleeve cuffs still might be quite tight. So just bear that in mind. If you like to be able to take your shirt on and off without unbuttoning the cuff, you may want to lengthen that cuff piece. But otherwise I really like that pattern. And then this is the other thing that I sewed, which is the Carol blouse, which is a new pattern from Madswick Studio. I really like Madeline. She makes really pretty, cool, interesting patterns. And this is her newest pattern. It's just a raglan style blouse. If you'll remember, I like self-drafted a couple versions of tops like this earlier this year and then kind of stalled out. So when I saw this was coming out, I was excited because it's a blouse style that I really like. And yeah, so I bought this also because I've been pinning a lot of tops with like really cool, interesting collars. And I thought if I could have a good base pattern to put the collars onto, that would be really nice. So I really like this top. The problem is that I made it in this like butter yellow color, which is not particularly fall-esque. I've worn it once to work, and it's really cute. I will say that this blouse is kind of cropped. So I think that I'm going to make more. I'll probably make 1 or 2 more, and I'm going to lengthen it maybe like 1 inch or so. And then there are 2 sizes for the neck. There's a narrow and a wider. And this is the narrow version. And I think it is fine. I will put a picture of me wearing it so you can see how it fits. But yeah, I want to try and do one with like a cool, interesting statement collar on it. So yeah, that is Carol. It's very cute. I definitely want to make more of those. And then the last thing I made was another pair of bob pants in the same black cotton that I did for my Amelie blouse and my jumpsuit. And I've worn these like twice a week since I made them. These are like it's like on the lighter side of weight, but they're definitely a heavier weight than the plaid version that I made. So I have 4 pairs of bob pants. I have a yellow canvas pair. I have the sweatpants pair. I have a red plaid version, or a red gingham version, and then this version. I think the red gingham version, the fabric is just kind of too light. They almost look a little bit too balloony. But the more structure that your fabric has for the bobs, the better I think it holds the shape, the like barrel-y shape of the pant. And I'm really happy with these. I like them a lot. I, for a while, didn't really wear much black because it's not in my color season palette or whatever. And it's not like, you know, the best color on me. It does kind of wash me out a little bit, but I've decided that I don't really care. So yeah, I don't wear a lot of black, but it's just going to be nice to have. I mean, for pants, I think it's fine because they're so far away from my face that it doesn't really matter. So yes, that is all my sewing. It's been a lot of sewing. And more to come because I bought some more fabric to make another carol. This is it's like a beige and maroon or burgundy kind of gingham check that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to make a carol out of this. I'm really excited. I think it'll be cute. I'm going to make the long sleeve version. And I'm going to make a white one too. I think I want to do one with a collar with the gingham. And so I'm going to make a white version out of some stash fabric that I have and try a collar first before I cut into the gingham. And if the collar doesn't work on the white, I can do it without a collar and that'll be fine. So yes, that is going to be another carol coming soon. Okay. Wow. I'm like talking myself hoarse. Is that it? Oh, plans. I talked to you already about my bonnet that I'm going to make for my sister. And then the other thing I will soon be casting on is a sample knit for my local yarn store. My local yarn store is the Tea Cozy Yarn Shop, and I am friends with the owner, Emily. We spin together, and I've been to the knit night many times. So she's great, and I like her a lot. And she messaged me, and she was like, hey, would you be interested in knitting a sample for the store? And I said, yes. So she wants me to knit this little hood, which is the Tie the Hood by Yarn. It's like a stockinette hood with a long scarf. So kind of like the Sophie hood, but stockinette. And I'm going to be knitting it in Yarn Pear Gynt and Yarn Tin Silk Mohair in the color Sunny Lime. I just think it's like a fun, bright color that will like liven up the gray Seattle winter. So I'm going to knit the sample. So I received the yarn. I will knit the sample. It will live at the store for I think 6 months and then it will come back to me. So yes, I'm going to cast this on once I finish the sweater for Caroline, and I'm excited to knit that out. I'm going to try and finish it by the end of October. So you may or may not see it in real life next time, but we could do some footage of it in situ at the yarn shop. So yes, that is my other plan. Yeah, and then I will probably cast on some more socks because I want to knit socks with my hand spun. I think that's going to be my next pair of socks. So yes, I feel like I've been yapping really like 100 million miles a minute for an hour. And so I'm going to wrap it up so that we can move on with our lives. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions about anything, leave them down below. If you, again, would like to test the Promenade Tote, which I'm so excited about. And I really appreciate as well all of the encouragement that you sent my way. You've been so kind, and I could not be doing this without encouragement from you all. So many people left really sweet comments. And I'm excited for you all to get your hands on the pattern. So yes, that will be coming soon. Follow me on Instagram for the test call, hopefully in the next week to week and a half, maybe sooner. And stay tuned. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. That will be fun. And other than that, I'm going to keep knitting and spinning and sewing and enjoying the nice fall weather. I'm going away by myself next weekend. I'm going on a solo trip for 2 nights. For the first time, I'm leaving Caroline for the first time since she was born. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm also excited to like sleep uninterrupted and sleep as late as I want, to take a nap. And I'm going to wander around and explore, and I'm going to have a great time. So if I'm feeling up to it, I might vlog. If I'm not, I won't. But yeah, I'm excited, and I'm going to have lots of knitting time, and it's going to be so cozy and wonderful. So that is what's going on with me. And that's all I have to say, because I've talked for long enough as it is. So yes, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really love having you here. Makes me happy to be able to share my makes. And now I get to share my makes in new fun ways with a pattern. So yes, I'm very excited. I love it so much. I love you all so much. I really appreciate you. You're the best, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks. Bye.